All right, so for day 4, we are continuing with context clues. So today our learning target is, today I will use strategies to determine the meaning of unknown words. I will do this so I can make sure that I understand what I'm reading and how to correct it when I cannot understand. And then I will know I have it when I've successfully determined the meaning of unknown words. So we've been talking a lot about this year because when we get to a word or a phrase that we don't know or understand, sometimes that can make it so that we don't understand what we're reading. So we've come up with some strategies and some ways that can help us to figure it out. So the very first thing that I've always told you guys is to plug it in. So before we can plug it in, though, we have to have a word that we think might mean the same thing, or we have to think what we know that word may mean. So to come to that, we can use some of these strategies right here. So Mr. Fry is an affable principal. He is the word affable, I don't know what that means. So sometimes an author will include like a definition right after the word. And if I can use that, then I can infer that the word affable and what it might mean. So Mr. Fry is an affable principal. And then this one goes on and it says, he is pleasantly easy to approach and always friendly. So affable must mean like friendly or kind or helpful. So if I plug one of those words in, Mr. Fry is an affable principal. He is pleasantly easy to, or is a kind principal. He is pleasantly easy to approach and always friendly. Then I know that affable must mean kind or something like that. Now, the author is not always going to define it. So another thing that they could do for me would be to include it with a synonym. And right down here, you see that they include kind. And again, I can plug kind in and it fits. It makes sense. Down here, they give an antonym. So they tell you the opposite, and then they go on to define affable. And again, if I plug kind in, it makes sense. Sometimes we'll give you an example or an inference. So today I'm going to go through one or two of these IXL examples, and we're going to see and make sure that we understand what it's asking us to do. So I'm just going to navigate to IXL. 4th grade, and if you want to go in and practice, then that's always an option for you. It's down here under 4th grade. Once I get down here, I'm finding where it says context clues, and I'm going to use this academic vocabulary one. All right, so the first passage, we're looking at the word sensitive. So turkey vultures are large birds that are very good at finding food. They can sniff out dead animals while flying high above them. The turkey vulture's nose is so sensitive that it can recognize even the tiniest bit of dead animal smell in the air. When it catches a whiff, the turkey vulture circles around the smell until it finds where the smell is coming from. Okay, so this one doesn't define it. It doesn't give me any synonyms or antonyms really, but it does give me a really good example, which I can use to make some inferences. So it says right here that the nose is sensitive, that it can recognize the tiniest bit of dead animal smell in the air. So if it can recognize this tiniest bit of small smell in the air, it must be able to smell really easily. So it must be able to notice small amounts, be able to become smaller, be able to hurt easily. Now, I don't think hurt fits because this doesn't have anything to do with the vulture hurting. The turkey vulture's nose is so easy to hurt or hurts easily. It becomes smaller. His nose doesn't become smaller, but it is able to notice a small amount of that animal smell in the air. And if I plug that in, its nose is able to smell the smallest amount of animal smell in the air. That fits. So sensitive in this sense must mean that it can smell small amounts. So which scale is probably the most sensitive? So a scale for weighing babies, a scale for weighing cars, a scale for weighing adults. So the word sensitive means able to notice small amounts. Which scale is probably the most sensitive? Probably the one for weighing a baby, because again, it has to be a small amount, and the smallest thing here is a baby. So which sentence uses sensitive correctly? Blood tests are sensitive to changes in blood sugar. The sensitive of the human body is studied by scientists. You must sensitive your body to your new climate overall. Well, the tiniest amount would be the change in blood sugar. So that's the one I'm going with. So guys, today I used context clues and the meaning of this word to plug it in. If you'd like to practice more, you should have your IXL password. You can find it right here. Good luck today using context clues, and if you need any help, let me know. Have a good one.